Welcome back. Annette Soul is with us today, and she is a current and future board member, right?
Correct.
Good to have you here today. We're going to discuss a lot of different things, and we're going to get to the election in just a moment. It's very important that people vote. We'll talk about why. But what you wanted to discuss today is change. And first of all, welcome. Always good to see you.
Thank you, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's fantastic that you folks come on. So change, it's constantly happening, but what we're seeing here, and you've alluded to this, is really change is progressing a little bit quicker, and the change really involves not only what's happening in the village, but the type of residents that are coming into the village and how they go about their daily lives much different than people did 20 years ago.
Absolutely. I very much want to discuss the change today and looking forward to the future. As you know, GRF, United Towers, and Third are constantly dealing with change and challenges. When this village was created, the plan for each manor was one vehicle and perhaps one golf cart. Today's youngest members each possess a mobile phone, a laptop, a hybrid vehicle, and they want a golf cart to purchase, when they get here.
Yeah.
So in the 1960s, when Leisure World started, the average age of life expectancy was 72 years, and today it is 86 years. Now, that was hard for me to really grasp because in the village, 1/6 of our residents are thriving, are 86 plus years, and we have quite a few living past 100. Yeah. So these seniors are active, they're engaged, and they're striving to maintain their self-reliance and independence. They have friends, neighbors, clubs, smartphones, laptops. They exercise, they have solar energy, electric vehicles, and golf carts, along with our village website, TV, eBlast, and Breeze, which contribute significantly to connectivity and the quality of life. And I know that 60 Minutes and universities all look at where we live because of this phenomenon.
Right.
We have an aging community with pressing needs, and caring for our homes and allowing the community to thrive and flourish is what we all want. Third is dealing with dry rot, parking, landscape, lighting issues, signage, and residency issues. And yes, it's a beautiful place to live, and the offering of amenities is staggering, but I really ask, please consider making a difference. Quoting Shirley Chisholm, "Service is the rent you pay for room on this earth. You don't make progress by standing on the sidelines, whimpering and complaining. You make progress by implementing ideas." That's another of her quotes. Members, we need your help and expertise. Please consider serving on our committees, task force, and boards. Yes, it is very satisfying work where you get to make a difference by contributing your expertise. We know some of you needed a rest after your busy careers, but please reawaken your motivation, share your expertise, and serve. Currently, the Third Board is working on long-range planning and critical path thinking for continuous improvement. We're identifying problems and we're working hard on them. Priorities are to pay attention to resident services, the safety of our residents, and the value of our homes. The next board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September the 19th at 9:30 a.m. in the community center, in the boardroom. Other meetings this month, as you've mentioned, is the Special Third Architectural Controls and Standards Committee today from 1 to 2:30. On Tuesday, we're having from 1 to 5 a special third meeting that's long-range planning in the Sycamore Room. On Thursday, September the 14th, from 9:30 to 11:30, will be the Landscape Committee in the Community Center Sycamore Room. And if you have some complaints, that would be a good one to attend to. Friday, September 22nd, from 9 to 10:30, is New Orient orientation in the Community Center Elm Room. And the orientation provides a good overview of village life. So the other thing we have, and I don't want people to forget, is the September issue of the Village Breeze is coming out mid-month, and Friday they should be sure to read their e-blasts. I think we're really trying to reach out to everyone.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And I'm also urging members and all residents to read the CC&Rs which were provided at the time of purchase or at the time of lease to ensure that your manner changes you are considering are permissible within the CC&Rs. Please ask first at property services and or manner alterations before embarking on any alterations, because these folks don't want to be hampered by a stop work notice.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah,
fines.
that would not be good.
No, it would not be good, and it's not our intention to do that to people, but we do need to have them be in compliance.
Yeah,
That's really important.
certainly.
And then the last thing I kind of wanted to go over a little bit was the plug-in electric vehicles and golf cart policy. In 2017, board members and VMS staff met to review the policy and identified areas of improvement. Penalty fees for residents who abuse Section 7.17 of the policy, which is extension cords and battery chargers, are in effect. This policy covers unattended extension cords, which may not be used in third for any purpose, and that all golf cart battery chargers must be elevated a minimum of 6 inches from the floor. VMS Security has been conducting an education campaign regarding fines for golf cart extension cord and battery charger misuse violations. So these fines are new so far for the first 45 days, and violators have been receiving what's known as courtesy notices. The fines for unattended extension cords and battery charger violations are, for the first offense, it's $50. The second offense, it's $100, and each subsequent offense is $150. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about that because I'm the chair of the Garden Villa Golf Cart Parking Task Force, and we selected a Garden Villa building which housed 14 golf carts. That's the most that we found. So the members in that parking task force included the Garden Villa building captain of that building, the associate building captain, the supervisor, 2 other Garden Villa golf cart owners who didn't necessarily live in that building, lived in other buildings, plus 1 VMS golf employee, and he was also a Garden Villa, resident. So this, we heard everybody, so we wanted to make sure that we had people, that this was real for them. They had a vested interest in this. So this building came into compliance swiftly, and it's spreading the word to other Garden Villa building captains. Another Garden Villa golf cart parking task force meeting will be scheduled to take place after the election. And what we did during that meeting was we spoke to everybody, and we found out that a very, I guess it would be a remedy with very minor expense was actually they could buy a cinder block at Home Depot, and it's like 6 inches off the ground, or they could put it up and it's like a foot, and they could put their charger on there. And if you go and look, some people, they did great creative things, but there's a way to get around this at a minimal expense.
Right, there is.
And we're trying to make sure that we're not trying to collect more money by just going around and finding everybody, but we do have to be in compliance with the building codes.
Right.
And that's important.
And this plays into something, both what you said earlier about how people are moving in and they're going to be looking more and more towards hybrid or plug-in vehicles. Bert Moldow was on, I believe he was on last week, we talked about this, and Steve Leonard with United, about having to look forward and looking at the future, how they're going to deal with the issue of there's going to be more and more plug-in vehicles. And not just golf carts, of course, but hybrid electric vehicles, and eventually how the community as a whole is going to have to come together and make this more possible for people. You don't want extension cords everywhere.
No, you don't, and then also the electric needs.
Yeah.
And then Southern California Edison. So we are trying, and we are reaching out to the community to say, we need your expertise. Come.
Yeah.
It is, there's change happening and there's challenges. And I really appreciate the talent that this whole village possesses.
Right.
And we need to have, if you have expertise in these areas, we need to hear your voice.
Yeah, you certainly do. Now, speaking of voices, there are 4 voices that are running for the board, and they're all incumbents, Bunny Carpenter, John Frankel, yourself, and James Tung. And what you wanted to say that despite the fact that you're all incumbents and it's 4 for 4, you got to vote, because if enough people do not vote and a quorum is not reached, this has to be done all over again, right?
Yes. So your ballot, you could look at it as a coupon.
Right.
Really, a very expensive coupon, because if we have to do this again, it costs about the price of a new car.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, this is thousands upon thousands of dollars. So we're doing everything in compliance with the Davis-Sterling Act and everything else. But don't assume just because there are 4 people running for 4 positions, your vote isn't needed. If we don't receive a 15% quorum, we will need to pay thousands for another election, and it needs to be received in the ballot box by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, September 27th.
Right. Very important.
So some people in third will be receiving our flyers actually on their doorsteps. We're placing them out, now just to kind of remind people. We've put a little tag on there because I do think it's very important. One of the tasks the director has is to watch the funds.
Right.
And I don't think there's a better way to watch the funds than to say, please, yes, we'd like you to vote, but we do need to have your ballot returned.
Right, and I think someone had mentioned that before, that even if you don't want to vote, the importance of returning your ballot, that goes towards creating that quorum.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And that is really, and people really need to know that everything they do makes a difference in the village, and it helps everyone.
It certainly does. Great to have you on today. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. And once again, your ballot must be in the ballot box by Wednesday, September 27th. So if you wait till the last minute, do not mail your ballot in. You'll need to walk it into the community center here. There's big boxes downstairs at the front desk, right?
Correct. You're right at reception.
Yeah,
Can't miss
you
them.
can't miss them. Good to see you, Annette, as always.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.